Hello everyone and welcome back to CMB's Hype League, and in this video we have a bunch of rookies, two bots from BattleBots, and an online BattleBots legend known as spyder4 and his minibot. I'll explain the minibot rules after we go and announce the rest of the fighters, and the rest of these fighters are the Dragon Flipper, clowning around, which seems to be a hammerbot from the picture here, and we have is redrotato from BattleBots Explained. And the two BattleBot competitors are Vanquish and axebackwards. Absolutely. Like, this is going to be a great grappling heat. There's really not that many flippers and only axebackwards and redrotato, but hey, it's going to be a good one either way. And now for the rules with the minibot. So, minibots act like their own bot. They have to be smaller than the main bot, but they can be longer, as for spyder4's minibot web. It's longer than the bot, but it's smaller. And we will be having more mini bots in the series. And if the main bot like spyder4 goes down, it will have its and the mini bot is still up, running and working. The mini bot will now have a chance to go and gain the victory for the main bot as spyder4. Like, let's just say spyder4 goes down the pit and Webs is still up and it has to fight Vanquish. And if Webs wins against Vanquish, then both spyder4 and Web wins. You get that? But the only downfall with having a mini bot kind of like that too is your bot has to be smaller. It's pretty much how it is. But with spyder4 being a flipper, I don't really think that has to be an issue. And you won't have mini bots in the tournament. Hey, these are the rules I've made. So, for mini bots. So, anyways, in the first fight we have is spyder4 versus Vanquish, redrotato versus axebackwards, and clowning around versus the Dragon Flipper. Gonna be a great one. But up first, we have a spyder4 and Webs. You see Webs all the way over there, and Vanquish right here. I now just realized how big spyder4 is.
3, 2, 1, fight!
And the bot battle begins. Now, it was a big box rush from spyder4. And now Vanquish is trying to get up onto spyder4 eats Vanquish. What has happened? And apparently spyder4 flips Vanquish and again. And again. And again, throwing Vanquish outside the arena, securing the knockout victory. I mean, alright, so let's get into the match here. spyder4 has that ginormous wedge up front and was able to get underneath Vanquish, flipping it up and over. And then it got stuck up on its mini-bot there, Webs, and then once he got out, Webs got stuck up on the wall, and then spyder4 decided, hey, it's my turn. I'm taking control now. And then he just starts flipping Vanquish up and over, up and over, up and over. And now gains 3 points for a knockout victory. Yet Vanquish still has no points. I mean, great and phenomenal fight. Just sad to see Vanquish get absolutely dominated like that. Now, in the next fight we have is... What the hell just happened? And I'll fix that later. Next fight we have is redrotato versus axebackwards. So now we have is redrotato versus axebackwards. Axebackwards is a BattleBots competitor, and I mean that drum spinner on paper seems to be really powerful, but as we saw in BattleBots, it sucks terribly bad. And we have his redrotato here, who is kind of like a Rotator's X style. I mean, I can't wait to see both these bots in action. Let's just see who's gonna win.
3, 2, 1, fight!
And the fight begins. Axeback was trying to get a box rush from redrotato, but is unable to as redrotato spins up the speed. It's not turning around to use that turn nice shot from redrotato there. Big shot from axebackwards. Wait, big shot from redrotato here. Big shots from redrotato. That spinner seems to be absolutely insane. Big shot from axebackwards there as he goes around the pit. And redrotato goes down the pit. Is able to get out. No, it is not. It is getting counted out, and it is gone. Great job from axebackwards, getting some nice shots in on redrotato. But that spinner off redrotato looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, we saw how powerful, like when he was upside by that wall there. Absolutely insane. But yet, it just does not know how to turn. If it was able to turn, then I think it would have been much better, but honestly, there was really nothing it could do. Axebackwards is just such a big spinner. But now up next we have is two rookies, a flipper and a hammerbot. We don't get to see much hammerbots in this competition, but when we do, they're obviously really good. And clowning around is a rookie, and we see the Dragon Flipper is a rookie as well. That's going to be a great one. See you guys there. Alrighty, so now we have is clowning around versus the Dragon Flipper. I mean, I do not know anything about any of these bots. Yes, I created both these bots. I mean, I never tested them out, ever. So this could be the first time seeing them in actual combat.
3, 2, 1, fight!
And the fight has begun. Both bots slow. The Dragon is getting underneath, clowning around. Just giant squeaky hammers. Trying to flip it, and the Dragon Flip getting a nice flip on clowning around. Clowning around, just able to get underneath the Dragon Flipper now, and getting a nice shot in for such a powerful hammer. Another great shot from clowning around, which is now underneath, pushing it towards the wall. Another great shot for Dragon Flipper trying to get around to the back, trying to flip it, and now it's stuck on its back. Absolutely insane. A nice almost flip there from Dragon Flipper. Another nice little toss there. Clowning around, getting tossed up in the air with that hammer, dealing some intense damage there. And now it's free, clowning around, wanting to use that hammer, and then the Dragon Flipper just flips, just trying to flip clowning around. Just both bots unable to land some shots, but now the Dragon Flipper is able to get underneath and flip clowning around up onto that top area. The hammer swings and a miss again. And now both bots are up top. The Dragon Flipper trying to flip clowning off, and now flips it over. Both bots now stuck, and now they're both free. The Dragon Flipper trying. Wait a minute. That flipper seems to be absolutely broken there. Both bots now stuck. But that hammer absolutely dealing damage to the Dragon Flipper every time it comes down. And it hits the wings. And that flipper seems to be broken. Clowning around, absolutely bringing the fight. And then there goes that wedge up clowning around. Both bots like losing their pieces to get underneath each other, but clowning around seems to be the better bot here. Now Dragon Flipper gets a nice flip on clowning around and tries to flip it out of the arena, but it can't. Is there any way, shape, or form Dragon Flipper can come back in this fight? A nice flip that clowning around that Dragon Flipper has done. And now it's trying to get underneath clowning around, and it has, and it's only going to bother the screws. Is clowning around going to get outside the arena here, or is he not going to? He is not going to be able to, and now he's getting nice hammer shots onto Dragon Flipper. Just great drivetrains for both these bots. Absolute carnage is here. What happened? The Dragon Flipper able to get underneath, climbing around, both to that area of the pit. Now Dragon Flipper is stuck up on something, and then a wing falls off Dragon. Nice little hit by climbing around. Absolutely insane. insane fight. Alright, so on paper, Clownin Around won this fight. Let's see what the judges have to say to this. Absolutely insane. And Clownin Around has scored a judge's win. Wow, this is the first judge's win we've had in a while. But both bots able to go to the distance. Clownin Around seems to be a rookie to win this. Just absolutely powerful hammer. I mean, look at what it did to the Dragon Flipper's health. And Clownin Around, absolutely just insane. But Dragon Flipper has some work to do. But, hey, congratulations, Clownin Around, gaining 3 points. Now, the final score, no, Clownin Around has 2 points and the Dragon Flipper has 1. Every bot has now fought, and now the final score is axebackwards and spyder 4 tied with 3 points, Clownin Around with 2, and the Dragon Flipper with 1, leaving Vanquish and redrotato with none. But now in the next fight we have is Clownin Around versus Vanquish. That's gonna be an interesting one. Can't wait to show you guys that one. See you there. Alrighty, so now we are on to the next round where we have Clownin Around versus Vanquish, redrotato versus the Dragon Flipper, and spyder versus axebackwards. Clownin Around, absolute. We saw how good he was and how badly he destroyed the Dragon Flipper, yet he's still a rookie. Now he's fighting a battlebots contender where we can really see how well he is and how good he is. Now let's see it right now in the box. Well, Vanquish is down. There's really nothing more to say.
3, 2, 1, fight!
And the fight has begun. And Clownin Around is able to get underneath Vanquish, and now Vanquish is stuck up on his back. Now let's get put back down. A nice miss by Clownin Around there. Vanquish stuck up on those wedges of Clownin Around. Another nice hit from Clownin Around. And he hit that, surprisingly. And a swing and a miss from Clownin Around. And a nice hit from Clownin Around. Vanquish is unable to get underneath Clownin Around here. It's sad because being a wedge bot needs to get underneath. Literally, that's literally what it is to do. Just get underneath the bot and it wins. But those front wedges of Clownin Around, absolutely insane. Just too low to the ground. Vanquish getting a nice push in on Clownin Around, trying to put it against the wall there. But now Clownin Around is trying to push back. A swing and a miss from that hammer of Clownin Around, but now Clownin Around is stuck up back on that area, and how the hell did it hit Vanquish? And it hit Vanquish again. Vanquish, we see, is now underneath that. What is happening? Both bots are now stuck, now having a simultaneous countdown. Now it's not able, and now it has stopped. Clownin Around has not fired that hammer yet. But Vanquish is now just on that front edge, trying to have a push wars here. Bots are now free to be unstuck. Now Vanquish underneath, and now Clownin Around gets another nice shot on Vanquish. That pit is now lowered. Now Vanquish needs to try and push Clownin Around down in there, and it almost does. And now Vanquish is underneath Clownin Around again. But Vanquish now popped up on that probably front side. Now it's just a pushing match from here on out. And now a nice push from Vanquish, pushing it to the wall. Vanquish definitely winning in control, but not the damage category. Vanquish showing its side to Clownin Around, but now it's back in this fight. But now Vanquish is pushing it! Clownin down the pit! What an absolute comeback that was. Vanquish. Vanquish needed points, any points whatsoever, and was able to push clownin around down the pit. Alright, so now let's do a recap of this fight. Clownin around absolutely controlled this fight and had the damage just insane. Boom! That hammer goes down. Boom! The hammer goes down again. It almost won, I'll say that for sure, but once Vanquish got underneath, it won the pushing game. Yes, some parts of the fight were slow, but that's just how Vanquish plays. And Vanquish was yet able to go and push clownin around down that pit. Congratulations, Vanquish, for scoring 3 points for a knockout. Now we have his redrotato versus the Dragon Flipper. See you there. Now we have his redrotato versus the Dragon Flipper. I mean, both these bots are coming off a loss here. redrotato off a knockout loss, and
3, 2, 1, fight!
Let's see what's gonna happen now. Oh, and a missed flip by the Dragon Flipper. Now they got redrotato, flipping it up and over. And now another nice little lift there by the Dragon Flipper. Now that weapon got a nice shot off the Dragon Flipper. Another nice flip from the Dragon Flipper. Dragon Flipper is absolutely changing redrotato here. Another nice flip there from the Dragon Flipper. Nice shot from redrotato. Done. Some nice little shots there from that weapon of redrotato. Now it's up on that wall. Who's been dealing more damage to redrotato. Another nice flip there from the Dragon Flipper. Now is trying to get in on the action. And now the Dragon Flipper just absolutely bringing it in onto redrotato and throwing it outside of the arena. Nice job for the Dragon Flipper, just absolutely making sure that front side of redrotato was never on the ground. Just absolutely insane. And when redrotato did deal some hits, they weren't that much because the Dragon Flipper was making sure it never got to spin up fully. And the Dragon Flipper, I'd say, earned that 3 points there. But now, up next, we have is spyder versus axebackwards. That's a fight you don't want to miss. And we'll see you there. Alrighty, so now we have is spyder 4 versus axebackwards. spyder 4 has a giant wedge. It's gonna get underneath axebackwards so easily.
3, 2, 1, fight!
There from that minibot webs. Nice spyder there. Now spyder needs to get pulled back over, and it has. And another nice flip from spyder there. Another nice flip. Both spyder and that minibot are absolute units. Nice shots from axebackwards here, but spyder is getting the best piece of shit here. Getting nice flips in here. And spyder 4 stuck up on the pit. Axebackwards drives itself down the pit. scoring 3 points for both these bots. Alright, fight rundown. Axe backwards stood no chance. I'm gonna be honest. Axe backwards stood no chance. It should have ran with this configuration where it had that wedge. I think that would have really helped Axe backwards here. But yet Spyder, being the absolute veteran it is, just able to flip Axe backwards up and over, and that wedge bot was able to use that, was able to get underneath Axe backwards, well, and got some nice flips in actually, which was really nice. But really, Axe backwards had no shot in beating Spyder here. Now we end off the second round with the points of Spyder 4 in the lead with 6 points. The Dragon Flipper in second place with 4th. Vanquish and Axe backwards now are stuck in third place with 3 points. Clownin around with 2 and redrotato with 0. But now in the next round we have is the Dragon Flipper versus Spyder. Redrotato versus Clownin around, and Vanquish versus Axe backwards. We'll see you there. Now we have is Spyder 4 and his minibot webs against the Dragon Flipper. The Dragon Flipper absolutely is showing that it's a good bot, but against Spyder,
3, 2, 1, fight.
Spyder 4 able to get underneath the Dragon Flipper. Same with webs too. Webs using that lifter to its T, and Dragon Flipper able to get underneath Spyder there. Now relentless on the attack, and Spyder 4 able to get underneath. The webs is now getting it. Now Spyder gets a nice flip under Dragon Flipper, and again. Webs now pushing both Spyder and the Dragon Flipper up and over. Spyder almost going outside of the arena there, but now is back in the arena. Spyder gets a nice shot. It's a nice shot by Spyder. Like both these bots are insane. I'm losing track. There's 3 bots in the arena right now. Spyder 4 gets flipped by Dragon Flipper, but now Webs is shooting it. They're really pushing it over to that wall there. And now Dragon Flipper is stuck up on its backside there. Now another nice little lift there from Spyder. Another nice flip by Spyder. Spyder is now stuck. Now a nice flip by Dragon Flipper there. That button has been pushed by, I'm pretty sure, Spyder. Another nice flip by Spyder there. Now Spyder stuck up on its sidewall now. Now is free and gets a nice flip on Dragon Flipper. And now Dragon Flipper gets flipped again. Spyder pushing all the bots now. Spyder really needs to start working with webs here. Same with webs and Spyder too. Dragon Flipper is now stuck on its side. It's now back down, and Spyder gets another nice flip on the Dragon Flipper. Dragon Flipper getting a nice flip on Spyder. And I think a part of the Dragon Flipper just got flown off. Now Webs stuck up on that sidewall there. Another nice flip from Spyder there. Another nice flip again. Another great flip again. And it goes outside of the arena! Great shot from Spyder, throwing him outside of the arena. I was not expecting that. Wow, we haven't seen that since Savage Rage threw itself outside of the arena. What? That is insane. Now we have a rundown of the fight. Spyder and Webs, an unstoppable duo. Just absolutely flipping Dragon Flipper up and over, up and over. Dragon Flipper actually had some great flips here and there, but Webs was just pushing it to the wall. Spyder was able to get free and then push Dragon Flipper. And then we had Spyder, or Spyder 4's web, just stuck up on that sidewall there, or the little, shelf there. And Spyder 4 comes around the corner, got Dragon Flipper underneath its wedge, and flipped it up onto the wall, where then it went outside of the arena. That is insane. We haven't seen that in a while. But great victory for Spyder. They're getting another 3 points. And the Dragon Flippa are stuck with 4. And now Spyder has 9 points. Highest in the heat so far. But now we have his clowning around versus redrotato. See you there. So now we have his redrotato versus clowning around. I mean, clowning around from what we've seen is a really powerful hammer, and redrotato has a very powerful spinner, but it never decides to turn around.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Redrotato is a competitor that is really powerful, but it never wants to turn around, but has got some great shots there on clowning around, but clowning around gets hit again by redrotato. It missed opportunity there by clowning around. Clowning around getting great pushes there. And another miss flip there. Clowning around gets another nice shot on redrotato, but now redrotato is getting some nice shots on clowning around. It finally decides to turn around, and it shows why it's actually a really powerful competitor. Another nice shot by clowning around. Clowning around really using that wedge to a T, and redrotato getting another nice shot in there. That side of redrotato seems to be breaking down. That is not something you want if you're redrotato. But great shot from clowning around here. Just absolutely insane. Just flipping it, and now getting nice shots in too. That hammer is absolutely insane, and there goes a wedge off of clowning around. And then another nice shot from clowning around there. Now that damage has been taking a toll to the sides and that wedge of clowning around as it has been falling apart. But really, redrotato has been getting a lot of damage done to it here. And redrotato clowning around missing that hammer shot there. But redrotato is now stuck up on that shelf there. If this goes to a simultaneous countdown, we might need to unstick them, but no. They are both. redrotato is now getting counted out. It has 1 second left to be freed, and it's not. And clowning around gains yet another victory. It now has, I'm pretty sure, 5 points? And it has. Nice job from clowning around. Now has 5 points. We have his vanquish versus axebackwards next. I mean, but before we do that, we gotta do the fight breakdown between clowning around and redrotato. Both bots absolutely great. redrotato figured out how to turn around in this heat, and I'm happy it did because it got some great damage to clowning around and shows that it's a competitor that you need to fear if it decides to turn around. Big if it decides to turn it around. But now we have his vanquish versus axebackwards. Yeah, see you there. So now we have his axebackwards versus vanquish. I mean, axebackwards, very powerful, but it has switched up its design here, going with forks.
1, fight.
Trying to see if it can get underneath vanquish. Now vanquish able to pop up axebackwards there, using that wedge to a T. Another nice shot from axebackwards there, just chewing up vanquish here. But vanquish pushing it towards the screws as it gets flipped. Nice job. So now those forks are not even on the ground, and now they're back on the ground. And now they're getting underneath vanquish here. Vanquish now stuck. Like literally, vanquish is now stuck up on those forks of axebackwards. That weapon seems to be spinning down though, but it's spinning up, really. That's how fast that weapon is really moving. Great shots from axebackwards there on that drum of Vanquish. Now Vanquish has a nice pin. If it goes down to 3 seconds, we will need to go and turn these bots away. But no, it is not going to happen. And now axebackwards getting great shots on Vanquish here. Vanquish is just pinning him to the wall. A nice little pop from axebackwards there. Flipping Vanquish up and over. Big shot from axebackwards there. Those forks really doing axebackwards a really good favor here in this fight. And now it is back up against the wall. Vanquish is really winning the control points, but it really doesn't matter when you have big damage like this. And it's now pushing it up towards that wall there. And now Vanquish is able to get free, but now is getting a big shot done by axebackwards, where it gets thrown out of the arena, and now it is done. Fight breakdown, axebackwards and Vanquish. I mean, Vanquish was able to get underneath a little bit of axebackwards, but that drum spinner would still chew up on Vanquish, getting some nice damage in there. But then axebackwards was able to get underneath Vanquish, and that's where it all went wrong for Vanquish. I mean, just great job by axebackwards for just popping Vanquish up and over, which then from there on it was able to get, well, the victory, knocking out Vanquish and throwing it outside of the arena, well, into the screws. But now the points are in for this round. We have a Spyder with 9 points in first place. In second place is axebackwards with 6. Third place is clownin around with 5. Fourth place is a Dragon Flippa with 4. Vanquish with 3, and redrotato still with no points. But now, in this next fight, we have Spyder versus redrotato, axebackwards versus clownin around, and the Dragon Flipper versus Vanquish. See you guys there. So now we have a Spyder versus redrotato. I mean, redrotato, let's just hope it can do something this fight.
3, 2, 1, fight.
And now we're getting to the action, and redrotato doesn't spin like it normally does. Spyder misses the box rush and misses that flip there. That bot of webs is really the downfall of this fight so far for Spyder, because now it's really just stuck up on there. And redrotato is backing itself into the screws, and it throws itself. I don't know what redrotato is doing in this fight, nor webs. Redrotato is now stuck up on his back with that spinner. And now both webs and Spyder are now stuck. A nice shot though from redrotato though, throwing Spyder up on the screws, where now it is being counted out. Spyder is being counted out here. And it is out. Now it's just the minibot up with redrotato now. Redrotato now throwing it up into the screws there. But webs is just really controlling the fight here. And it throws it down the pit, winning the fight for Spyder and itself. Great job from webs. I mean, just absolutely insane. Webs carried Spyder this fight. I had to say it. But it was also its own downfall of webs, well, pitting Spyder and then redrotato getting a shot on Spyder, knocking it out. But, well, now that's about it, because redrotato threw itself down the pit. But now we have is clownin around versus axebackwards. Absolutely good. But just like both these bots, just really good.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Axebackwards off a nice KO victory of, I'm pretty sure, actually no, it's a Dragon Flipper. No, Vanquish. It was Vanquish. And clownin around off a nice and easy victory of redrotato. And now axebackwards getting some absolute shots done in by clowning around. But that drum spinner is doing some nice shots, and though as clowning around pushes it to the screws, and another nice shot from clowning around. That hammer needs to be nerfed or something, because it's doing some insane damage here. Absolutely nice shots from both these bots. Another big shot from clowning around. But that drum spinner is dealing some damage to clowning around. Don't forget that. And now nice pop from axebackwards. Absolutely insane. And now another shot from clowning around. Absolutely another nice. And now clowning around gets popped up and over by axebackwards. Another nice shot from clowning around. Another nice shot. Now clowning around is stuck up by this. Is now throwing it axebackwards into the screws. And now axebackwards is now outside of the screws. Great shots from clowning around here. Absolutely great shots. And now another nice shot from clowning around here. But now axebackwards is able to really get into this fight, because now that wedge is gone. Or one of the wedgelets is gone. Another nice shot from axebackwards there. It is barely moving, but it is. Now another nice shot from clowning around. Those wedgelets are taking so much damage, but so is axebackwards. I don't think axebackwards can take really 2 or more hits. But now another nice shot from clowning around here. Axebackwards is now getting knocked out here. Clowning around is gonna get the knockout here. Dominant performance from clowning around here. I mean, we saw axebackwards getting some nice shots on clowning around, but clowning around absolutely just a powerhouse with those wedges, just jamming it into axebackwards. Yes, one of them did fall off, which did really help axebackwards out a lot, but it really helped out in the beginning, getting all those hammer shots where now, as we see, is axebackwards really not able to do anything. But now, in our final fight of the round, we have is Vanquish versus the Dragon Flipper, and we'll see you there. So now we have is the Dragon Flipper versus Vanquish. I mean, Vanquish has been thrown around this entire heat. It's quite sad.
3, 2, 1.
And
Fight.
the Dragon Flipper has gotten a win and 2 losses. I mean, for how it is performing, it is doing better than I suspected as a rookie. And now it had a nice flip on Vanquish there. Now Vanquish is just unable to get, well, turned over there. Now another nice flip from the Dragon Flipper, but now Vanquish is able to get underneath the Dragon Flipper, and now it is just doing the same exact thing again. And now it gets fully underneath the Dragon Flipper. And now Dragon Flipper is now back underneath Vanquish. And got a nice flip on Vanquish. I mean, the Dragon Flipper, absolutely great shots. Getting some nice flips on Vanquish here. Now Vanquish getting some nice pushes yet again, but still though, it's just insane. But that Screws is now getting some damage done to Dragon Flipper there. Now the Dragon Flipper is losing on damage points. It really needs to do something here or knock out Vanquish. I mean, just great shot, just a great match for the Dragon Flipper overall, but it's just Vanquish who got Dragon Flipper into the screws there and then just got getting caught up because of that wing. And what the hell just happened? Big damage by Dragon Flipper there. And it got thrown into the screws. What the hell just happened? I mean, congratulations to Dragon Flipper for having a dominant display and getting a knockout, but it just did so much damage there. Absolutely insane. Vanquish got annihilated there. Dragon Flipper now has gotten 3 points, now up to 7. Just great job from all of these bots, but I don't know what the hell happened to Vanquish there. Tire flew off. The wedge guard flew off. The top part flew off. All due to one single flip. And now for that final round, the points are Spyder with all knockouts now has 12 points. In second place, clowning around with 8. Third, the Dragon Flippa with 7. Axebackwards in fourth. Vanquish in fifth with 3 points. And redrotato with none. Now we have is the final fights of this heat. We have is clowning around versus Spyder, the Dragon Flipper versus axebackwards, and we have his Vanquish versus redrotato. See you there. Now we have is the final fight for all 3 of these bots. Spyder and clowning around. Clowning around, an absolute really good rookie from what we've seen.
3, 2, 1, fight.
And Spyder definitely living up to its name. Another nice flip from Spyder there. Another nice flip from Spyder there. But nice damage done from clowning around. Great. Oh, big miss by clowning around, but nice flip from Spyder. Absolutely insane. Another great flip by Spyder. Another great flip by Spyder. Webbs is doing something for sure. And now Spyder just getting great flips. Another great flip from Spyder. Clowning around, unable to stay on the floor. Just like that again. Another great flip from Spyder. And actually a nice attack on Webbs by clowning around. And now Spyder thrown down the pit. Same with clowning around. But now clowning around is now back. Spyder now just stuck down the pit. Nice shot from clowning around there. And another nice shot from clowning around there. Clowning around now back up. And now it's getting thrown around by Spyder yet again. And another nice flip from Spyder here. Clowning around has gotten some nice shots on Spyder, but now when you're coming with just Spyder alone, you've pissed off Spyder. His Webbs is now gone. You have pissed off the beast, and Spyder goes down the pit with a major driving flaw. Clowning around gains the final victory here, slaying the giant of Spyder. Or giant Spyder. Just great job from Spyder here in Webbs. I mean, great job of controlling the fight in the, like, there's no way clowning around would have won if Spyder wouldn't have went down the pit in that driving flaw. But congratulations clowning around for getting 3 points. The rookie has taken down a giant Spyder. Yes, he has. And now is up to 11 points, if my math is correct. Spyder is now just stuck in first place anyways. So no matter what, Spyder and clowning around are in first and second place. But now, up next, we have is the Dragon Flipper versus axebackwards. Both these bots have been really well this heat. Axebackwards surprisingly done some great damage, great hits too. And Dragon Flipper, not one of the better of the rookies, but just great. Just a great flipper, but not better than Spyder though. Up next, we got is the Dragon Flipper versus axebackwards. See you there. Now we have his axebackwards versus the Dragon Flipper. At this point, everything can surprise me. Just exactly what happened last round.
3, 2, 1, fight.
A nice little box rush there from Dragon Flipper there. Axebackwards trying to get up to speed, but Dragon Flipper not letting it. But now Axebackwards getting some nice shots on Dragon Flipper there. And now Dragon Flipper has him by the screws. He could flip him out of the arena, but is not able to. Getting some nice little lifts there from Dragon Flipper. Now the pit is lowered. Both bots are by the pit. What is going to happen? Dragon Flipper now stuck by the pit, and it is now freed. Dragon Flipper needs to get away back there, or he won't, or he can just take the victory here. What is gonna happen? Dragon Flipper almost throwing itself down the pit, but now it is letting, just letting the fucking axebackwards get a knocking himself out. I cannot speak today, or this fight at all. But I mean, Dragon Flipper was just on axebackwards from the start, gaining some nice flips, and axebackwards did get some nice little nicks there. Don't get him wrong. But Dragon Flipper overall just got some great shots in here, leaving this fight now with 10 points. What the hell just happened? There we go. 10 points. Can't get much higher than this. But now we have is Vanquish versus Redrotato to go and close out the fight. Or this heat. See you there. Now we have is Vanquish versus Redrotato. I mean, Redrotato is great. So great. Like, fan favorite, the best.
3,
Against
2,
Vanquish.
1, fight.
And Vanquish gets around to the side of Redrotato. And they're doing the hokey pokey and they're spinning all around. And Redrotato got a nice shot on Vanquish though. And again. And he got flipped over by the upside down wedge of Vanquish. And now Vanquish getting a nice, like almost little flips there almost. And Redrotato is going crazy. It's like he's on something there. A nice shot from Redrotato, actually. I mean, can never count out Redrotato because that spinner is really powerful, yet it did nothing in this heat. Great shots, though, by Vanquish. Just trying to push Redrotato, but now he's getting out-pushed by Redrotato, surprisingly. Vanquish trying to get a lift on Redrotato there. And it is almost working. And it has happened, and now Vanquish is now stuck up on that sidewall. Is Redrotato going to get a KO finally? Or is he just going to get knocked out by Redrotato? And Redrotato is almost going to knock itself out, and yes, it did, and did it at the same exact time. What the hell was this final fight? Yeah. I mean, that was the final fight of the heat. Redrotato actually gets a victory. Yes, Redrotato got points on Vanquish. Tying up with Vanquish. But now, the final points is Spyder with 12 points, clowning around with 11, to Dragon Flipper with 10. Axebackwards with 6, Vanquish with 3, and Redrotato with 3. I was your host, none other than the C&B, and this was C&B's Hype League. Can't wait to see you in the next one, because I'm pretty sure in the next one, we're going to have Whiplash against another bot from the same guy who made Spyder, Executioner, and we got none other than the horror slasher Jason in battlebot form. That's going to be great. That's going to be a great one for sure. And I really hope you all loved this heat, and we will see you on the next one.